Hey everybody, what's up? It's Pacman 5698 here again, and sorry I haven't made a video in a while, but I've been busy with doing Godzilla Unleashed requests and finishing up all the progress in Batman Arkham City, but I'm back here to make another video, and it's basically an update of an update. Remember in, I believe it was mid or late July when I told you all about Bill S. 978. It was not a request, it was a reply to DSPGaming's alert, basically saying the negative side effects of this bill and what it was trying to do. Bill S. 978 was going through Congress, and it essentially wanted to shut down all illegal piracy on the web, but the main problem is that it was too broad, it was too general, it seemed like it was written like that on purpose, it wasn't an accident. It seemed like it was supposed to be too broad and too general. It was looking to censor the internet and make anybody who streams copyrighted material a felon, which means you're going to go to jail for 5 years, you're going to have to pay a massive fine, and if you're a felon, your life is pretty much in the gutter. You can't get a job. Again, to quote DSPGaming, you're flat. So basically, if you uploaded, let's say, a little bit of, a scene from a movie or a TV show, and the government catches you, and they accuse you of streaming copyrighted material, you're going to be thrown in jail for 5 years, pay a huge amount of money, and your life is just, it's gone. But anyways, now I'm back here with the results of Bill S. 978, because at the time, many people freaked because a lot of people thought that this was unlawful, unconstitutional censorship of the internet, and people knew better. A lot of people wrote their congressmen, their congresswomen, and most of the entire governing body saying that this bill is it's blasphemy. We're not going to have this. If you do this, you could shut down this entire industry of the internet, and right now we need this industry of an internet. It's expanding, it's starting to flourish, and our economy, let's face it, our economy is going downhill. We need new jobs, we need more people to make money. 5 to 1% of the population of America is holding most of the economy. As I speak, there are protests all outside of Wall Street. So when this bill came out, basically saying that it could censor all of these user material generated websites such as Google, Facebook, YouTube, Yahoo, Twitter, MySpace, a lot of people just said, no, we do not want this to get passed. They wrote their congressman, they wrote their congresswoman, and a lot of Congress did reply, but it seemed that the main argument that people who were for this bill wrote back to the people of America is saying, well, we're not making anything new illegal, we're just making the penalties more serious. And I've actually heard a lot of people in the past, one of which in my previous video said, this law, if it gets passed, is not going to affect video game videos in any way, and this 10-strike bill will not apply to video games. But here's the thing, it was never proven in a court of law stating what was the boundary between fair use and what was the boundary between piracy. It was never taken to court. Like, say for example, somebody uploaded a match of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 on the internet, and then Infinity Ward came out and said, no, we do not want this. That's our copyright material. You do not have the right to stream this material. Take it down. And that person spoke out and said, no, this is protected under fair use. It's protected under the law. I'm not going to take it down. And then, Infinity Ward and this person who uploaded the material went to court, and then eventually the court would decide what was fair use and what was copyright infringement. That never happened. That absolutely never happened. And the bill was so broad and so general, it could easily apply to video game videos. And for the fact of the matter, the video game industry does not care about these video game videos, because why would they want to get rid of all these videos? In fact, Ubisoft, that many people believe gone to a trouble with DSPGaming, some people said that DSPGaming's previous account was shut down because Ubisoft claimed a copyright strike against his channel, saying that, he streamed a copyrighted material of one of their games, and then Ubisoft said on their blog, "No, we did not do that. No way. That was just somebody impersonating us. These videos promote our games for free. They show everybody how good the game is. They'll go out and buy it. Why would we want to remove that?" And the same thing could go with movie reviews. If a movie gets positive reviews, it's going to be way more likely that more people are going to go out and buy the movie. So all of this free promotion would get shot down just because of this broad general bill. And recently, there's been a lot of bad news. The government knows that Bill SP 978 is largely opposed, so they have a new plan. So let's take all of the elements of Bill SP 978, try to reword it here or there, make some little changements, and then let's put it all into a bill that's even worse. And what is this new bill I'm talking about? It's called the Protect Intellectual Property Act, or PIPA Act. And there's also another act called the Stop Online Piracy Act, or SOPA. Now, both of these bills support each other, and they're even worse than Bill SP 978. With SP 978, it had a 10-strike rule, saying that if you uploaded 10 clips of copyright material, you would now be a felon, and you would go to jail, have your life destroyed. But now, what these two bills are saying is that if you do it only one time, one single time, you're a felon and your life is ruined. So already, this bill is 10 times worse. And, it's basically going to give all this power to the government that's, going to end up censoring the internet. And I agree with you, DarkSydePhill. Now all of us know what became of Bill SP 978. In fact, one person on the video I made in late July also said, "Don't worry about this bill, it was ruled unconstitutional." No, it was not. It was never ruled unconstitutional, but now it's been pretty much abandoned because, PIPA and SOPA have been introduced. It was not getting checked for markup anytime soon. It stopped going through Congress, probably because the lawmakers wanted to take all of the elements of this bill and put it into 2 more bills. So now we know what became of SP 978. Another aspect about PIPA is that now all websites with user-generated material would now be legally liable if an act of piracy is committed on their website. Let me make up an example. It's summer of 2012. Somebody goes to the movie theater, brings their iPhone, and records The Dark Knight Rises on their iPhone, and then in this completely ridiculous act of copyright infringement, they upload the entire movie file of The Dark Knight Rises onto YouTube. What this bill is saying is, that's it, YouTube. You are now legally liable for copyright infringement. You have to completely remodel your website, take this footage down, and make sure no other piece of copyright material gets uploaded. And if you don't do so, you are going to court, and your website may very well collapse. And basically, yeah, this is ridiculous. Why should a whole website have to suffer just because of one person? If you want to go after the person that committed that act of piracy, you do so. You don't just, try to bring down the entire website as a whole, and by saying to YouTube, just monitor all of your user-generated material, it's impossible. Every day, thousands of videos are uploaded to YouTube by their users, and it's just hard to keep track, and because YouTube has all of these workers that go through the websites, they'll have bots, they'll have workers, they go through the website and they try to find any videos that have copyrighted material. They'll flag those videos and then they'll be taken down. But because there are so many videos being uploaded at once, it's impossible. Some copyright footage is going to get through, and a lot of people are going to see it. Face it, at some point or another, you saw footage on YouTube that you shouldn't see for free. Like, believe it or not, about 100,000 people have seen The Prince of Egypt part 1 at least, and eventually that video will be taken down, but because YouTube is paying attention to so many other things, it won't be taken down instantly. It's just impossible. There's too much stuff. There's no way YouTube can find every single last piece of copyright material on their website and take it down in time. It's completely impossible. And how YouTube should remodel their website in favor of the government doesn't give any information if this bill would pass. You know, it's your problem, not ours. You figure it out. You remodel your pages. We're not going to give you any support. Just do it. So this is completely ridiculous. So these bills have taken themselves to a whole different level. They're trying to bring down all these pirates, and to be honest, I agree. I mean, piracy, I know, is a bad thing. A lot of us know piracy is a horrible thing. It takes away jobs, it takes away money, it, makes all of these other things that should be paid for free on the internet. Now, as good as that may sound, it may end up, hurting the economy here or there, and if you want to bring those pirates down, fine, you do so, but because this bill may bring down all of these user-generated websites down, it's not anti-piracy anymore. It's a flat-out anti-internet bill. It's completely absurd. Also, this bill presents a blacklist feature to web search engines, so here's the thing. It basically makes, say for example, a video has been proven that it infringes copyright, so from now on, if you go to that website that had that video, if you search in any of the words that were in the tags or the title of that copyright infringed video, none of it would show up. So take for example, that guy with the glasses. In January of 2009, it was Schwarzenegger month for him. Yeah, take for example, oh no, the Nostalgia Critic review Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he used footage from the movie that infringes copyright, so we're going to take this movie down and we're going to censor anything that has Schwarzenegger in it on his website. So if you go to the That Guy with the Glasses web search engine, if you type up Schwarzenegger, no video on his website with Schwarzenegger in the title or in the tags or in the description is going to show up. So that's part of internet censorship. That's another part of internet censorship in this bill. Let's say, for example, somebody uploads a clip of Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla on YouTube. From now on, if you go to YouTube and type in Godzilla, no videos with Godzilla in the tags, title, or description are going to show up. So this is another major part of internet censorship in this bill. And again, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I've said that so many times, but this is what these bills are. PIPA and SOPA, they're completely ridiculous. And it makes you wonder, why are these bills not only going through Congress, but are getting rushed through Congress? Why is this happening if we have a government that believes in freedom of speech, freedom of the press? Our government would never pass something like this, but this is how it goes, okay? Hollywood and the music industry have hired all of these lobbyists. Lobbyists are like representatives for these corporations. So they go to Congress, they present this idea, this bill, and they say, make this into a law. And these lobbyists are really pushing forward to get this bill passed. They're constantly talking to our lawmakers, talking into their ears, saying, get this bill passed so that we can stop online piracy. But even then, why aren't our lawmakers paying attention to the people of America, the average person who knows how the internet works and what this bill will do to it? Well, this is another thing, and it's crazy. These mainstream companies will give our senators, representatives, and lawmakers so-called donations to fund for trips, and a lot of senators want to run for presidency next year, so many of these mainstream companies that see that any senator that supports this bill, the mainstream companies will give those senators a donation if they're planning to run for president. So, essentially, these donations are bribes. Our lawmakers get bribed by these big mainstream companies to get stuff passed. And the reason is that these mainstream companies, I see no other reason why, they're too greedy. They already have billions of dollars, they have all this money, and they want to get this bill passed so that this lower industry that could make the average American earn more money and get a job, they want to destroy it. It's absolutely disgusting. They're promising this government that SOPA and PIPA will, and another frustrating part is that they're promising the government that SOPA and PIPA will be able to make more Americans get jobs. No, it won't. You'll be destroying this entire industry, an industry that can make more people earn more money and get jobs. You're just going to be destroying it. And this is very sick. I can never believe something like this in our country could even start. And because of all these bribes, our lawmakers are turning a blind eye to the people of America. They're paying attention to these lobbyists, they're just keeping their focus on these lobbyists, and they're paying attention to them, and they're trying to rush these bills through Congress, and will eventually get sent to President Obama, in which he'll either veto them, or he'll sign them into law. But I'm not saying that every single last senator and representative in Congress is just, you know, this person who takes bribes from these mainstream companies to get stuff passed and shows corruption in our government. No, there are actually many people in Congress who stand up for themselves and for the people of America. They refuse to take all this money, and they pay attention to the people of America too. They stand up for our beliefs, and they don't want these bills to get passed because of it. And those are the people that are true leaders of the government. Those senators and representatives that stand up for their own ideals and their own beliefs and don't take any of this crap from the mainstream businesses, they know what they are doing, and they deserve their place in power. For example, there's Senator Wyden of Oregon. Wyden has threatened that he will filibuster if it looks like these bills are going to get passed. What is a filibuster? A filibuster is when a lawmaker knows that something unconstitutional is going to be passed through Congress, and if it looks like the unconstitutional bill is going to get passed into a law, the senator will stand up and try to delay this bill to have a more thorough discussion about it. And in this case, if PIPA and SOPA, if they look like they're going to pass, Senator Wyden is going to say, no, this is not how it's going to go down. You're all obsessed with your own self-interest. You didn't pay any attention to the people of America. I'm not going to allow this. Delay these bills, and I'm going to filibuster. And what he's going to do is that there are numerous websites where you can submit your name to Senator Wyden's list. And on the days or even heck months when these bills are delayed, he's just going to stand in front of the entire governing body, and he's just going to read the names of everybody who was opposed to this bill, who signed online, who called him. He's just going to read all of those names, and it's probably going to go on for months until the government says, okay, let's have a real discussion about this bill. Let's not only talk about the pros, but let's also talk about the millions and millions of cons this bill has. So thank you, Mr. Wyden. This filibuster you are planning is a great idea. And to all of you other lawmakers out there, if we find out you supported this bill, you didn't pay attention to the people of America, you're obsessed with your own self-interests, I'm going to go as far to say we're not going to re-elect you next year. You know, we're not going to re-elect you. You could just go out into the real world and you can try to get a job, which will probably be hard because you supported a bill that makes that even harder. Also, there's another example of a senator who does not know what this bill is really going to do. In fact, one person who was supporting this bill said, well, we're not trying to target websites like YouTube, stay cool, it's okay for this bill to get passed. You don't understand. There's nothing in that bill that prevents the government from going after user-generated material websites that have what they believe is pirated material and just going all out and saying, that's it. We can take you to court if you do not remodel your website and take all of this footage off your website and police all of your user-generated material. So there's nothing in the bill that can prevent that. Even if your main objective is not to target websites such as YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, it can still happen. In fact, if this bill gets passed, it's probably going to happen. So you might as well make it the main objective. Also, the history of PIPA and SOPA since they were introduced is pretty sketchy because they had hearings about these bills in mid-November and no one who was against this bill was allowed to speak. Not a single person. It was only the people who were for this bill that were allowed to speak out. So that is actually, DSPGaming, you made a great point. The bills haven't even been passed, and that is indeed a way of censoring voices. I mean, the bill isn't even passed, and you're already, trying to censor the voice of people, so that is just not right. And you know what? This is a good example that the lawmakers who are supporting the bill are trying to get this bill rushed through Congress and make their way to President Obama as quickly as possible, just so that they can get these bills passed. So this is really, really ridiculous and stupid. It's a stupid way of trying to get two bills passed. But recently, Nancy Pelosi herself, and in fact, Senator Hillary Clinton, have stated that freedom of speech online is a great privilege. No bill, no SOPA or PIPA bill, should take that right away. So the bottom line is that you need to spread this word. In fact, the bills, PIPA and SOPA, I believe they're scheduled for markup on December 15th. December 15th, of course. So that's only like, 5 days from now, 4 days of now. It's probably going to be late when I upload this video. So you need to sign petitions online. Don't worry, you can enter in your personal information. It's okay. They don't give it out. They're not trying to spread personal information all over the web. It's okay. They'll send you notices on email, on your email accounts. They'll keep you updated about this stuff. So, get your name read by Senator Wyden. Go to AmericanCensorship.org to support, to prevent SOPA from getting passed. Make our voices be heard, and make sure that our lawmakers don't just ignore us and say, well, these bills are right, we don't care, just get these passed. So, we have to make our voices be heard, okay? We cannot allow these bills to get passed. And this isn't just us for the this isn't just for us in the United States. Anybody outside the United States, if you're watching this, because these websites, the whole World Wide Web, could easily have to be remodeled and destroyed because of these bills, it's not just going to be in America. All around the world, these websites will have to remodel themselves, and they could easily collapse. In fact, they're probably going to collapse if these bills pass. So you need to write to your congressman, to your congresswoman, write to Congress telling them that you're opposed to these ridiculous bills. These cannot pass. And don't just sit back and say, well, they're going to make changes to this bill that's more specific. It will never pass in its current form. You're wrong. These bills in their current form have a very good chance of making their way through Congress. And even if Obama vetoes them, it is likely that Congress will vote 2/3 yay and override the veto. And if you think that the bill, in the way it's worded, is going to get changed when it goes through Congress again, that may not be the case, because there were numerous debates over these bills ever since they were introduced, and since then, not one change, essentially, not one single change was made to these bills. They're like 79 pages long, and they never go into any detail of what is fair use, what is harmful to intellectual property, so it's absolutely absurd that they have nearly 100 pages, and they never describe what's the boundary. So, bottom line, again, I've said this before, oppose these bills, make sure your name is read by Senator Wyden, sign up petitions online, make sure that we can protect the internet, and make sure we can prevent sites such as YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook from getting ruined. I'm sorry that I'm sounding like an alarmist, but it's been so long since I made an update about bills, about the bills such as these, Bill S.978, PIPA, and SOPA, so the update's been made. I'm sorry that I'm sounding like an alarmist, and I'm not against our government, to be honest. You know what? I'm not against our government. I love that we have free speech, and I support President Obama. I think he's a good president. I think there's hope for our economy. So we just need to stop these bills from getting passed, so that we can build an even better country. This is Pacman 5698 signing out.